it is a Friday after all, Karthik.
Thank God.
Thank God. First of all, it's Friday. Yes. Usually on Fridays, what happens is that we go and choose what to watch on OTT. Okay, what releases on this Friday on your favorite OTT platform. And this is one of those, beautiful weekends where there's so much choice at the movie theater.
Right.
And one of the greatest ever clashes at the global box office that actually there's been a name given to it. It's called the Barbenheimer. It's called the Barbenheimer simply because, Barbie the movie and Oppenheimer the movie are releasing as we speak, have released already. Morning shows have already been, the reviews are out with all the preview shows as well. Karthik, but we're going to discuss, I know both of us love Oppenheimer, but the story really here is about Barbie to start with, because here is a toy that literally almost nobody in the world doesn't know the name of. Everybody,
True.
Everybody in the world
Every
knows.
girl, every boy, every parent, every teacher, every brand expert, everybody knows.
Every continent, every language, every culture. There is a Barbie for everybody over there. So Barbie, everybody connects with the Barbie. And in fact, I'm surprised it took so long to make a movie out of Barbie. And what a movie that it is that has been released, mainly because, forget about the review for the movie. Here is a movie directed by an Oscar-nominated filmmaker and scriptwriter called Greta Gerwig, who recently was Oscar-nominated a couple of years ago at the Oscars for Little Women, the film adaptation of the American classic novel Little Women. She's back at the movies. And who is starring in this Barbie movie? No less than Margot Robbie as Barbie. Alongside, we have none other than Ryan Gosling playing Ken doll as well. So, this is a highly built movie, Karthik. This is not some random Barbie movie that's hitting the movie theaters. This is a highly built, top-class technicians, top-class directors, filmmakers, star cast, etc., that's hitting the movie theaters. And as we speak, is actually beating Oppenheimer at the opening weekend box office. Starting with India, where I think, your tickets are already booked, Karthik.
My tickets are booked and I'm wearing a pink shirt and I'm wearing a black jacket. So I think the whole Barbenheimer, I'm dressed for it. I think I'm going to watch both of them.
Yeah.
But yes, I have a daughter and I think Barbie has taken precedence for us to go into the theater and watch. But you're right. I think both highly anticipated films, both films extremely, high on production values, great star cast, great directors, great sets. I think there is pretty much everything that goes as an ingredient into making good quality entertainment cinema is cutting across both these films, right? Now, I think, you're right. And the trend that we are picking up is that it's one of those rare occasions that you don't have a franchisee built on characters from a movie, and you don't have merchandise built on the character of a movie, but it's pretty much reverse engineering.
Yeah.
And we've seen very few instances of that in the past. In fact, I think G.I. Joe was one of those characters. It was a toy character which turned into a film. Not a great film, if you ask me, honestly. But yeah, you're right. I think Barbie has cut across generations. It has cut across cultures. And it has transformed and metamorphized itself also into multiple avatars. I mean, I remember when we were growing up and when my sister used to play with a Barbie, it was that typical fair-skinned, blonde-haired Barbie.
Yeah.
And that's all what we knew Barbie to be. And over decades, over generations, Barbie has transformed itself into multiple skin tones, multiple dressing attires, and has adapted to these cultural shifts and these requirements of a new less gender bias, less stereotyping sort of a role model. But yeah, I mean, has Barbie really continued to be the kind of popular cult figure, the kind of following it used to have? I don't know, but I think we've got a young guest joining us,
yes,
who should be able to tell us, her experiences with Barbie. While Lloyd listens in before we go back to him.
Yes, we have Samaira Agnihotri, 9-year-old Samaira joining us. Samaira, thank you so much for being with us, for talking to us. I just want to ask you something very simple. Since when did you start playing with your Barbie doll that we see behind you?
Since I play Barbie world since I was 3 years old. I have this huge dollhouse on the third floor Barbie lives. On the second floor, her sisters live. On the third floor, her pets live. And I also watch this show, Barbie Life on the Dream House on Netflix.
Wow.
Whoa, I didn't know that. Samaira, hi, nice to meet you. Tell us something. Are you looking forward to going and watching the Barbie movie, or your parents don't want to take you?
I'm very excited to go there. My parents are allowing me to go there finally.
Are they
Okay.
taking you? Have they booked tickets? Are you sure?
Yes, tomorrow they booked tickets.
Oh, tomorrow. So packed theaters in India, Karthik, for sure. Literally.
Yeah, literally. I think packed theaters. And Samaira, I just want to understand from you, these Barbie characters. How many Barbie dolls do you have to begin with? I see only one. I see only three
That's an
actually in
entire
your dollhouse.
dollhouse
Can you,
behind her.
can you show us these three Barbies? We want to understand. Do they look similar or do they look different?
Show us your favorite Barbie.
This one.
Oh, this is your favorite Barbie. Pink Barbie. The classic.
And this is her best friend.
Oh, the mermaid Barbie.
Okay, and there are a few more also. Just pull them all out. Show us what all do you have. This is the Barbie. This is the Barbie range. These are the cultural differences I was talking about, Krishna.
This is her sister Stacy.
Oh, that's Barbie's sister, Stacy.
This is her youngest sister Chelsea.
Wow. It's an entire family.
And this is Stacy, her sibling.
Okay, and the Skipper also, right? I don't see Skipper in your collection. Oh, that's Skipper. Okay, hi Skipper.
Hello, Skipper.
Lloyd, let's take this to you. This is the generation, and this is one of the many generations that have actually grown up playing with Barbies, playing with dolls in their doll houses. What does this tell you as a branding, marketing sort of segment? A toy maker getting into celluloid and getting into taking this brand extension forward in a reverse sort of a way. That is not a film character which is being merchandised, but this reverse sort of marketing of a character having a film based on.
I think it's truly, one of the iconic franchises of the last 70 odd years. Samaira, thank you for sharing those lovely visuals. But I can tell you there's a range of women all the way into their 60s who have great childhood memories of their first Barbie. So in a sense, it's, to my mind, truly a big cultural development across the world. And therefore, I really see this movie being a super hit. Because for a lot of people, it's actually reliving their memories of as being a young kid. Right? And therefore, that nostalgia that brands are keen to play on is actually a huge, huge opportunity. Right? And I've been seeing some of the things that have been done. I was Googling a bit of around the movie yesterday. And the moment you Google Barbie or the movie, Google breaks into pink sparkles. Right? I was reading about some of the interesting things. Airbnb have actually opened Barbie's Malibu Dream House. So there's a real world version of that. So I think the opportunity that a franchise with so much of emotion, so much of nostalgia for an entire generation of women or many generations of women, I think is truly big. And some of the global sponsorships have really taken it to a different level. I think what Airbnb did was outstanding. I think Google's breaking into pink sparkles is fantastic. I've been seeing some of the things. Crocs have got a whole collection, pink Crocs around the Barbie franchise. Baskin Robbins have got a special Barbie flavored ice cream. So I think to my mind, it's really a coming together of pop culture, nostalgia, and a truly iconic brand franchise.
I see Samaira nodding along. Samaira, have you had the ice cream and all the things that Mr. Lloyd Mathias here is saying?
Yes, the Baskin Robbins Barbie ice cream, I've had that.
Oh, wow.
Fascinating. And anything else that you're looking forward to? Because, is Barbie always, does she always have to be pink? Is it a color, fixation, or you like any color Barbie, any color dress?
Any color. She's okay in all the colors, but she's okay mostly in pink only.
So the filmmakers have gotten it right.
The filmmakers have gotten it right.
Correct. There's so many Barbies, but the pink Barbie is the best Barbie, and that's the
and the
Barbie
pink
in the movie.
sparkles. Anytime you type, so when Lloyd was mentioning, I just typed Barbie, and actually, my screen broke into these sprinkles of pink.
Samaira, did you do Google search and saw the pink sparkles of Barbie?
Yes.
Even Samaira has seen it as well. It's fascinating.
But Lloyd, let me take this to the more boring part of the discussion, right? I think fun and games are all great, but the more boring part, the numbers part. Do you think, as a business model, At some point, did you see this whole journey of Barbie really stagnating? Because some of the numbers that we see, let's say the total revenue of Mattel toys, if you look at the total revenue in 2013, it was commanding a $6.5 billion revenue pie, which reduced in 2018 to 4.5, which increased marginally in 2022 to 5.4. But Barbie's contribution has been more or less stagnant, 1.2, 1.1, 1.5. It hasn't really grown as a pie in the overall revenue of Mattel toys. And let's pull up some other graphics also which we have of toys in general, where we'll see that the brand Barbie is actually still fairly far behind. Let's say when we talk about brands like Lego or brands like Fisher Price. If we can pull up those graphics, I think it'll try and put this in perspective that even a video game brand out of China called Bandai Namco is and look at the margin first between Lego and the rest of them. But even in the second, third, and fourth spots, Barbie has not really been able to be a close number 2, leave alone being number 1. What went wrong with the Barbie story?
I would say one element really is it's a cultural phenomenon, right? The fact that electronics have become an important part of young people's lives, right? For a whole generation in the 70s and 80s, playing with static toys was the done thing. I think now there's a lot of other avenues of entertainment, right? Kids can watch things, they can watch electronic items, they can watch movies. So I think the opportunity spectrum has grown, and therefore that pressure is understandable. Having said which, I think what Mattel has done with the reinvention over time to keep Barbie contemporary has been pretty impressive. But I do agree that there's a cultural phenomenon. And to some extent, dolls as a plaything for young people have become a limiting factor.
Right. We also have Karan still with us. Karan, if I can quickly ask you, what do you think is the impact of Barbie, the movie, on the brand value of Barbie going forward?
So I think Barbie as a brand, of course, with the millennials coming in, I mean, we have seen a change in terms of, the habits and the usage of merchandise which is there. But I think Barbie will be a very, very big crowd puller for audience in the age of 30s and early 40s. I think because these are the consumers who have actually played with Barbie for a long, long time in terms of their childhood. So just as we saw Mario doing well globally, doing $200 million plus kind of box office, we are going to see similar trends for Barbie as well, as far as global numbers are concerned. In terms of India market, I think Barbie, should do well, but not, reach that 120 crores kind of box office mark. I think Barbie will somewhere settle towards, 40 to 45 crores kind of box office mark. And that's primarily because, of the brand value of Barbie. Now, again, the numbers can breach these estimates of 40, 45 crores basis how the content is. So apparently what we hear is that there is a messaging in the film, about feminism and about that, how females are basically. So I think if that were to be the case, if the film, apart from a strong recall in terms of the branding of Barbie, it has a very strong storyline as well in terms of content, you could see the numbers reaching our estimates. So Barbie definitely is estimated to do well, but not as well as the other large franchise like Fast and Furious or a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible, but definitely better than the other of the movies that we've seen in the Hollywood.
Right, fascinating point that Karan makes over there in terms of franchise, because we're talking about other toys made into movies, Karthik. There is the Lego movie. G.I. Joe. Let's look at the report card. The Lego movie was a hit. It released in 2014, was a hit to the point where there's another Lego movie. However, there was also Battleship, the game Battleship that got converted into a movie. It featured even Rihanna as well, but that just completely sank without a trace. That was a complete disaster.
Right. Yeah, now that you're mentioning it, I'm trying to recall. Did I watch the movie? I don't think I did. No, but I remember seeing the posters for sure.
So G.I. Joe again as a franchise hasn't done as well as say the Lego movie. Whereas the one movie you're not discussing is Transformers. Transformers, again, a toy converted into a movie. The franchise has been an absolutely blockbuster franchise, as a movie, Karthik. And then you have Lego, you have a hit movie, a hit franchise over there again. More films expected. Mattel, in fact, is looking to convert many more toys and games into movies. In the pipeline, incidentally, there is the Magic 8 ball converted into a movie, the Uno game converted into a movie. We have the Masters of the Universe, the classic He-Man and Skeletor.
Master of the Universe.
Yes,
yes.
That's the movies in the pipeline as well, Karthik. Masters of the Universe, Magic 8 Ball, Hot Wheels, more importantly. Hot Wheels, one of the most iconic toys.
Mattel, Uno and Hot Wheels both, I think,
All
Mattel,
of them
right?
are Mattel. They've in fact they've signed a deal, with production house to make this into movies. There are many more. These are some of the most iconic ones that we put out over there. It's fascinating that this entire story of toys turned into movies. How well they've done. And Barbie, like Karan is talking about, I can assure you on that. The messaging, the feminism and the messaging, and the real reason for that, for pride, for both girls like Samara and women alike across the world. That messaging is very important. From what we understand, it's written and directed by Greta Gerwig, known for her strong women messaging through her movies, from Lady Bird to Little Women. So it's going to. And the hope is that, Samara, it should appeal to both girls of all ages, right, from your age to all the bigger girls as well.
Yes.
Right, and you will join us after you watch the movie, and you'll tell us how well you like the movie as well, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you, Samara, for joining us. Thank you, Samara, for talking to us as well. Enjoy the movie. Bye. Take care.
Thanks, Lloyd. Wonderful having you as well. And thanks, Karan. I think we've got a weekend very well chalked out, and everybody, not just
one
us.
thing we have to discuss, Karthik, because, it's the phenomenon is called Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
Right. We discussed the Barbie. We have to discuss the Heimer, which is Oppenheimer. Fascinating film, one of the big avant-garde cinematic event. This is a cinematic event. That's a brand event. That's a toy event. This is a cinematic event. Christopher Nolan, the most iconic filmmaker from Hollywood since Steven Spielberg. People just go to a movie hall because it says directed by Christopher Nolan.
Correct.
His movie's releasing about the man who made the nuclear bomb. What a film event it is.
The Manhattan Project, Oppenheimer himself, of course. But which is your favorite Christopher Nolan film?
So
Interstellar, Dunkirk,
it's a
Dark Knight.
I would say
it's tough to choose, right?
It's tough to choose. I was
just thinking, if you're going to ask me that question, it'll be such a difficult pick. So I preempted
like
by
that
asking
game.
you.
Good one. And Oppenheimer, I'm being told, is the most non-Christopher Nolan-like film. It's a very straightforward film. There's nothing that you don't understand. They start saying that about Tenet, right? Like, Christopher Nolan, Inception, Tenet, they're going to confuse you and everything. This is very straightforward. You know the story already. You know how the story ends. But apparently still a fantastic spectacle. Again, it's not like, this is not comparable to Barbie in terms of numbers. Opening weekend, all eyes will be come Monday morning, Karthik, and see where they have landed between Barbie and Oppenheimer. Who beats who? For now, Barbie certainly has the lead at the box office.
And that's what I was reading. In fact, even in the early reports coming out in the US suggest that Barbie is going to walk away with about $110 million worth of collections.
Right.
Oppenheimer, less than half of that, about 50 million. So, I don't know, 50 million seems a little difficult in comparison with 110. I think Oppenheimer is also going to reach somewhere near Barbie, would be my estimation. But the only advantage Barbie would have over Oppenheimer is that Oppenheimer is going to be for the slightly more older people. And every time you go and watch a film with your kids, with your family, it's likely to be Barbie rather than Oppenheimer.
Absolutely.
And that'll give it the sheer numbers.
You know what? The comparisons are absolutely pointless. That's another reason why we're doing this show. Barbenheimer might be a phenomenon, and it's a phenomenon because Barbie is important. It has its own standing as a movie to be at the movie theaters, just like Oppenheimer. They're two different things. They're apples and oranges. Go enjoy both apples and oranges, and have a fantastic
Pink apples
weekend.
and black oranges.
And with that, we'll let go of Karthik. Karthik, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Krishna.